Hey people, so I'm naming this video Stepmobbin because this week was one hell of a week. So if you follow me on Instagram, if you don't, please do. At Bad Pittman Life, I put up 2 posts this week that kind of represent the things that I'm talking about. The first one was studies often show that studies often show it's not the divorce that hurts the kids, it's the conflict between the two parents. So this week rather, we had our custody court hearing, and just the amount of animosity that's has grown over time. You know, I will say, I don't know if you may believe it's objective or not, but this more so from her side is just so crazy, and it's just too much. And it's just like, as adults, like, learning that we really have to heal from our hurts and grieve, like, the relationships, our past relationships, or in this case marriages, because it's extremely hard when children are involved, because when they are involved, it takes up so much of, like, it kind of takes it's so much harder, I guess I should say, to grieve, because when you're grieving, you're trying to grieve, but you still have to be cordial with this person, and you have to, because you share children, and it can get really hard, like really dicey, really fast. But that's where, like, you really learn your maturity level. Like, it's one of those things that will mature you or show your immaturities. Because if you can't handle it, like, your immaturity and, like, the level of petty, like, just shows through. And at the end of the day, all that back and forth, all the anger, all the animosity, it becomes a really toxic and angry environment for the kids. Like, the kids just want to be with both of their parents, and it's hard enough for the kids to see that they can't have both of their parents in one house. And then in my situation, like, the parents then have to accept a third party into their situation. So it's a whole lot of adjustments and things that you have to go through in this very, like, young time where you still don't even know what emotions are. And it's more than difficult for them, and to put them in a position where they have to pick a side, or they have to tell someone who they would rather be with, or how much they want to be with this person over that person, or if they want to be, I want to be with both of them this amount of time. It gets to become unfair when we can just really show out the maturity and do so many things so that the kids can always have access to both of their parents. I mean, in some situations, you might not have a 50-50 thing, but at least the kids know they have access. I can call my dad when I want to. I can go see my dad when I want to. Or, it's not a difficult situation where the adults can just really be adults. And then the second post I put up, that it seemed like I got so much feedback, like so many people agree, is that, my self-worth is not dependent upon the bio mom in my situation. And that is just reality. Like, for whatever reason, this lady, she hates me. Some people, like, you could say she's jealous or she's angry, like, but she, basically admitted, like, I've done good things, but it doesn't matter. Like, she doesn't want any part of me. And not that I wanted to be her friend or be liked by her, but I always felt like I, especially mother to mother, like to have a cordial relationship with somebody or a respectful relationship where if there's anything that she wanted to know about her children when they're with me, like she can contact me, email me, text me, Facebook me, whatever, like just to say, hey, what about dance? Or did they finish their project? Or they wasn't feeling well when they came home? How was it with you? Like anything, and there's so many things that can happen in a week, in a weekend, 2 weeks, a summer. Like you should be able to talk to everybody that's with your child. Like I just believe that. Like you should just be able to talk to the people that's with your child. And then God forbid, there's always emergencies that can happen. You know, there's things that happen that you don't plan for. You don't think about happening because, you know, I won't even give examples because I don't even want that. They'll put that out in the universe. But in reality, these things can happen, you know, and it's no fault of anybody. It's just something that happened at that time, and now the child is being, you know, rushed to the hospital for whatever reason, and you're just because you're angry, like you're not answering my phone calls, you know, or something can happen to their dad, and you know, I may, you know, want to come and get them so I can bring them to see their dad because their dad is unable to. It's just so much, and to just literally be hateful or angry or mad at a person or anything like that, like it's why it takes so much energy to be angry, to be mean, spiteful. It's just so much, but some people just do, and especially females. And like life is just too short. It's way too short. You know, it's just way too short to always be mad all the time. And with court, if for anybody that is going to court for custody, like these is just my words of advice. One, don't let anything. It's a business. This is a business thing. You are battling for somebody. So when that person gets on the stand or to say, get up there to give their testimony, or their lawyer is asking them questions, be mindful of the fact that nothing they say is about to be negative about you. So have the thickest skin possible, because they're just not going to have anything positive to say about you. You're not there for positivity. If they get up there and tell the judge, oh, this person is a great parent and you're doing an awesome job, and I just don't want you to take the kids just because I don't like you. If you think that's what's going to happen, you're in a room for a rude awakening. So kind of just have the thickest skin possible. Kind of leave your emotions checked out the door, and have somebody that can go take a shot, have a drink with you, smoke, whatever, afterwards, because they're not going to say anything positive. That's one. Two, paper trail. Like, paper trail. Like, even with the text messages we had, the school records, the school attendance, she still had plenty of lies. She still had all these other things to say. But you can try to explain, but the paper trail is the paper trail. Like, you can't argue with facts. Keep your facts in order. Be very organized, and be prepared. Like, if you can't afford an attorney, because they are pricey. We spent a lot of money on our attorney. He was very well worth it. He was very much made us prepared. We had several phone conversations leading up to court, so that we could prepare for the court hearing. So, Affordable Legal, if you're in Philly on Common Avenue, is a very good place, but lawyers cost money. Everybody can't afford it. So if you're, if you have to go through the legal route and you want to, you know, fight for your children with a lawyer, or I mean without a lawyer, just make sure that you prepared. Educate yourself. Even if it's just like you just do a consultation and just get advice on how to represent yourself, because there's so many things that we learned in the process that we had no clue of. And if a judge wanted to, at a moment in time, they could have made us go file for custody in another county, because at the time the kids were living in another county. So it's so many things that can happen legally, and when you're representing yourself, you just don't know because you're not a lawyer. So those is my 3 number one words of advice. And number 4, I would just say, at the end of the day, whatever you're fighting for, make sure you just have a discussion with your children to make sure that both of y'all on the same page. You don't got to be on the same page with the mom or the dad. Be on the same page with your kids. If your kids is telling you, I want to be with you every other week, I just want to be with you every other weekend, I want to be with you every other day, make sure you fighting for whatever they want. Because at the end of the day, we're doing all these, us as adults, we're doing all these different things for our children. And nobody even asks them, what they want. And if they say they don't want what you want, it's going to be hurtful. I'm not going to lie. It is going to be hurtful. But, you have to still do what you need to do that's in the best, interest of them, but also try to find a balance of what's in their best interest and, also what they want. So that, because kids don't understand what it means to really be taken care of. They just know who cares about them. So you got to keep working and keep doing everything you can. Make the best of the time that you have with your kids. We went to the sunflower farm, us and all 4 of the kids, and I just like sunflowers. That's my favorite flower. And I didn't think they was going to enjoy it, but, they wanted to go with me, so we all went. And they were we had so much fun. So even little things, everything you do together, you just have to make the best of your time, whatever way. It doesn't matter if you're celebrating on that actual day or the day after. As long as you celebrate them and celebrate you with them and make that time. The time together is the most important thing. At the end of it all, it's the most important thing, and making sure you are doing things to help the kids mature properly and become emotionally healthy. When you're living in 2 separate homes and 2 separate rules and doing 2 separate things, that can cause some type of unbalance. So you got to make sure you're checking in with their emotional health, the same way you do with their physical health. Because at the end of the day, it's all about the kids. You got to get there. What we doing as parents, step parents, is not perfect. It's never going to be perfect. And there's no rules to this. And we're all just figuring it out one day at a time. And you just have to keep working for it. All you can do is put your best foot forward and keep going. So that's my quick little video for the 24th. Peace. Happy 24th. Bye.